It looks like President Biden may finally be coming to the realization that Merrick Garland, his Attorney General of the United States, sucks. And if that is the conclusion that President Biden reaches, he is 100% correct. Merrick Garland from day one, hell, Merrick Garland back when he was nominated for the Supreme Court by Barack Obama, he sucked then. Now, I'm going to explain what Biden's frustration is, because there is many. It's not just the recent Robert Hur report, but Biden apparently has many gripes about Merrick Garland. But I do want to point something out. Right back when President Obama nominated Merrick Garland to the United States Supreme Court following the death of Scalia, the seat that, of course, Mitch McConnell obstructed and allowed Trump to fill later on, Pap and I did segments here on Ring of Fire talking about why Merrick Garland was a bad pick. Corporatist guy, soft on corporate crime, horrid on environmental issues, absolutely terrible on protecting the environment. So we warned y'all back then how bad Merrick Garland actually was. And then when Biden came into office, he felt sorry for Merrick Garland because you had your Supreme Court seat stolen. So let me pick you to make up for that. And it's been an unmitigated disaster for President Biden. Now, of course, right now, President Biden is very angry over the fact that Garland did nothing to actually read through the special prosecutor's report that included tons of political attacks on President Biden that had no bearing on the investigation at all, saying he's just a feeble, forgetful old man with a bad memory. That's not relevant to anything. But okay, you included it, and Merrick Garland actually had the authority. He could have previewed the report and instructed passages like those overtly political passages to be removed. Nothing wrong with that. He could have done it. He had the authority and he chose not to because he's a coward. Also, Biden has been annoyed by the fact over the years that Garland could have actually started the DOJ investigations into Donald Trump a lot earlier than he actually did. I mean, technically, as soon as he took office, we should have had the January 6th investigation. Instead, it didn't start till about a year and a half, almost 2 years later. And as Biden, according to these reports, points out to his aides, Trump had already been convicted by this point. If Garland had done his job when he came into office, Trump would have already been convicted. But Garland didn't do that. In fact, he waited until Donald Trump announced that he was running for president to even appoint a special prosecutor. And that was in November of 2022. So Garland dropped the ball there. Biden's also angry that they're kind of slow walking the investigation into his own son. He thinks, you really could have done this much faster. And the longer you drag this out, the more likely it is you push him back into addiction. And that's not his concern as a president. That's his concern as an actual loving father. But I'm going to go one further, Biden. I'm going to mention something you didn't mention. And this is something that Pap and I have mentioned on this show. It's the fact that Merrick Garland has also allowed corporate prosecutions, white-collar prosecutions, to drop to an all-time low, even lower than when Trump was president. So we're not holding white-collar criminals accountable. We're not holding corporations accountable when they poison and kill people with their drugs or environmental toxins. You're not doing your due diligence on the Trump investigations. You bent over backwards to appoint a Trump guy to investigate Biden so that you didn't look partisan. You're a friggin' failure. Let me read you this. This is from a Democratic donor, spoke to Politico on the condition of anonymity. Here's what he said. And I love this because it's so accurate. What Democrats do is they bend over backwards not to look partisan, and then they end up hiring people that are partisan, but in the other direction. There's no question in my mind that the villain here is Merrick Garland. Because that's what Democrats do, right? They always, the other side does it this way and that's bad. And sure, it's bad. So we've got to go out of our way to make sure we do the exact opposite so that nobody accuses us of being partisan. And then what happens every damn time? They accuse the Democrats of being partisan with it. Doesn't matter. Just like when Democrats in 2016 and 2020 with Bernie Sanders, we can't elect him, they'll call us all socialists. Then what did they do with Hillary and Biden? They called them both socialists. They still do. So the Democrats are really bad at freaking out about things because everything they think won't happen to them always ends up happening to them. And Merrick Garland is a perfect representation of that. And if Biden wins a second term, the first thing he needs to do the day after the election this year is tell Merrick Garland, get the hell out. I'm going to replace you with somebody competent. Well, folks, we have crossed that 1 million subscriber milestone, but rest assured, we are just getting started here at Ring of Fire. So if you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel and make sure to like, share, and comment on the videos.